button holder.
It's not your job to make excuses.
Trade pain.
That's all you guys do good.
People will come, Ray.
There's chocolate all over this ball.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Unless it is the elementary grade. That's your breakfast.
You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team.
Then he is going to play on this ball club.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Erik, and welcome back to another Baseball Movie Monday. And today we're talking about The Sandlot, the 1993 classic movie, beloved by many baseball fans and non-baseball fans alike. This movie is definitely a classic. Checked it out again last night to refresh myself, although I've seen it 15, 20 times. And I really enjoyed it again. I'm really impressed by this movie. The editing, the acting by the kids, the timing of the humor. It's a really funny movie without putting a lot of lame, obvious jokes in it. Just some of the reactions, the editing, the timing, the music. It's really fantastic in all those ways, and I'm going to get into some specifics. But I really enjoyed it. I do have some personal nitpicks. I don't think it's perfect, but I definitely see why it's so beloved and why it's a classic. And I knew that from the beginning. From the first time I watched this in 93, I thought, that's going to be a classic. This movie is hilarious. I laughed out loud so hard the first few times I saw it. And even last night, to this day, and even some scenes that maybe I didn't laugh as hard as when I was 13 and watching it for the first time, now I'm laughing. As I'm older, more mature, and I kind of get other jokes that I didn't really understand before, or at least didn't catch me as humorous before, does now. So I'm just saying the movie is just extremely entertaining and extremely funny, extremely well written, extremely well edited, and overall, just a fantastic ride and a great story. So this movie takes place in 1962, which is appropriate and a perfect setting for a movie like this. Just brilliant that they made that choice. And you have Scotty Smalls, who is moving to a new neighborhood, a new city. He doesn't know anyone. He doesn't have any friends. He's kind of a dork, okay, for lack of a better word, okay? And he's trying to get his stepdad, played by Dennis Leary, to play catch with him. Every time he talks to him, he'll either say, hey, Dad, I mean Bill, or he'll say, hey, Bill, I mean Dad. And it's just a nice touch. So he's not the nicest stepdad ever. But I mean, he's friendly enough. He's willing to do it, but he never actually does it until finally the mom comes out and says, "Can you please play catch with him? Please, come on, take some time out of your day." So he finally does it. It's a complete disaster. Obviously, Scotty Smalls, he's just completely a non-athlete. He can't catch the ball. I thought that Bill gave him some pretty good directions. Where the ball goes, that's where your glove should go. If the ball moves, move your glove. It was just like perfect direction that you would try to give, a kid like that who just can't catch the ball. And, of course, he gets hit in the eye with the ball. It throws a steak on his eye. You can see the mom give him a look like, what are you doing? That's our dinner. What are you doing? She was trying to get ice. Oh, it just little scenes like that, like throwing a steak on the eye. It just happened, and the mom gives him the look. And it just, the way it's done is funny because it's not in your face comical. It's just flows nicely. And the looks on the faces is what does it to me in that particular scene. And it's really funny. But anyway, this kid, obviously no friends, ends up heading out to the Sandlot. He gets the guts to go out there where all these kids are playing ball. I love the introduction he gives. There's some voiceover of the adult Scotty Smalls. Talks about how they don't keep score. They just play. It's just like baseball heaven right here. They just play and play and play. And it's just so awesome. He wants to be a part of it. He goes out to left field. The ball ends up getting hit towards him. Of course, he falls down. He can't catch it. Everyone laughs. Then he tries to throw it back. He gives a little throw. Everyone starts laughing. He thinks his life is over and runs off. Somehow it's funny, though, even there. Even in his embarrassment, when he makes that throw, everyone starts laughing. And you see Benny just like... Benny the Jet being the main character. Obviously, spoilers all over this review. I'm sure you've seen The Sandlot. But it just little scenes like that are even funny. Just the reaction from Benny the Jet. So he runs off. Benny goes to talk to him, tries to get him to come back, and gives him the glove, which was really cool. Gave him his glove. Didn't have to play with that plastic garbage glove that his grandma gave him when he was 5. And you have the first introductory scene to learning that he doesn't know who Babe Ruth is. So you have, the big kid, Ham, I'm the great Bambino with the cigar. I'm the great Bambino. What? I'm the great Bambino. Ah, who's that? What? What? The great Bambino. The Sultan of SWAT, man. Oh, great Bambino. I thought you said the great Bambi. So he had to play it off like he knew what he was talking about. And that's just an introduction to a storyline that's obviously going to happen throughout the movie. When Benny knocks the cover off the ball, more on that later, and they need another ball. And he says, I got another ball. Goes back, he grabs his stepdad's ball signed by Babe Ruth, who he doesn't even know who that is. A stupid move, but a move a kid might do. He really wants to impress the rest of the kids. He wants to keep playing. He says, I got a ball. And he goes and grabs that ball. Of course, it made me wonder what happened to the other ball that they were playing catch with. Surely there's another ball around here. Dennis Leary's character seems to be a big baseball fan. You ain't got another ball besides Babe Ruth's ball? But that's beside the point. He went to grab Babe Ruth's ball. And, of course, he knocks a home run. And now they have to get the ball back, but the ball is back over the fence with the Beast. And then there's the story that is told to Scotty Smalls about the Beast, and it's in black and white. It's all grainy, and you could tell it's all imagined in the kids' heads, or at least the kid that's telling the story. This is not real, but this is how they imagine the Beast and the story of the Beast and the legend of how he's going to kill whoever goes back there. He's already killed multiple people, including one kid who had the guts to go back there. The Beast killed that kid. That's the legend right here. In their minds, this is a giant beast who will eat you. And it does a great job of giving the viewer what's in the minds of the kids with this black and white kind of show. And it's funny too. The the owner of the dog says, how long do I have to keep him chained up? The police captain, forever. Forever. Just so many classic moments. You have, of course, Squints. Squints is the kid that told that story. And Squints is also the kid who's in love with Wendy Peppercorn. Sees her walking down the street at one point. It's just the funniest scene ever. That's one scene that I didn't laugh so much when I was a kid, but when I see it now, I was just dying laughing because of his reaction. It looks like he's having a panic attack. He takes off the glasses. It's just, I can't even.
Whoa, give it to me. Jeez Louise. What's the matter? Jeez.
Down the line, wondering where she is bound.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Of course, they go to the pool, and that's when he does his fake drowning thing to get her to do mouth to mouth with him. And grabs her head, and she says, "You pervert!" They run off, but she gives him a little smile. It's all some classic stuff right here, really entertaining, funny stuff. But the movie really gets going when they are trying to get that Babe Ruth ball back. That's when it gets going. And there is several things they try. It doesn't all make perfect sense to me. I'll get into that a little bit later, but it's really entertaining. And one of the funniest moments to me in the movie was when the vacuum cleaners get clogged up because the Beast, they have the vacuums and the pipes down there trying to suck up the ball and get the ball back. But the Beast comes and grasps on to the pipes and he pinches them shut. So now the air, the vacuum is trapped within the pipe and it's going to make the vacuums actually explode. So the kids are running. Oh, it's like a movie. It's like a war movie. They dive. They're just always getting into these crazy situations where they're screaming, and it's so hilarious. And this moment right here when the vacuum started exploding, I just remember dying laughing so many times as a kid watching this movie. And even now, it's still funny. But that's one of my favorite moments in the whole movie, the vacuum scene for sure. But Benny says, you know what? I'm going to get that ball. He has a dream where he talks to Babe Ruth, played by Art LaFleur. And that's a really fun scene as well. He decides he's going to go get that ball because Babe Ruth tells him, jump over the fence and go get it. And so that's what he's going to do. And he gets his new PF Flyers. He jumps over that fence. He's looking at the Beast. The Beast, it's a badass moment. The Beast is supposed to be this really super intelligent dog. So he takes the Babe Ruth ball and he drops it right on the ground with his mouth. Like, try it. And Benny goes to run, grabs the ball, runs back, gets over the fence, and it looks like they got the ball back. But then he looks up, oh shit! And there's the dog jumping over the fence. Another little moment like, oh my God. And then they're just running around with the dog chasing him. Again, some of his stuff is a little bit over the top. Okay, it's not really going to happen like that. The dog just chasing him all over. Obviously, probably the dog would really catch him pretty quick. Ultimately, it was still a really fantastic scene, a lot of fun. Dog gets back. They end up getting him back home, but he gets trapped under the fence because the fence falls on him. So that obviously Scotty's trying to pick him up and help the dog. No one else wants to help him. Benny decides kind of reluctantly to help him. And then it turns out the dog, right in the face of Smalls. Everyone's scared. Oh my God, he's about to get eaten. We're all about to get eaten. And then the dog starts licking his face. Really funny moment, really cute moment, because you figure that's probably what's going to happen. It's a dog, and it's a breed of dog that's probably, unless trained to be violent, is probably not going to be that violent and is going to start licking your face, and that's exactly what he does. Of course, in their minds, this was a beast, and they only knew of the legend. They had no idea, otherwise they would have never been scared of the dog at all. But that was a really fun moment right here. They end up meeting the owner, played by James Earl Jones. Fantastic scene right here when he invites them in, sees the picture of him with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. James Earl Jones is awesome here. I love the scene. He says, why didn't you just knock on the door? I'd have gotten it for you. Everyone starts hitting Squints. Squints, you idiot. Because he's the one that said that's not an option. This guy's the meanest dude ever. He will feed you to the dog. But anyway, that was really funny. But James Earl Jones is great here, telling stories, talking baseball, holding on the ball to Babe Ruth. He just sensed there was something about that ball. They needed to get it back so desperately. Let's talk about this baseball. And found out it was signed by Babe Ruth. He says, I take it back. You're not in trouble, son. You're dead where you stand. So he offers to trade them. He has got all kind of cool stuff. And he's kind-hearted enough. He offers to trade. I'll trade you. And he shows them a ball signed by all the 1927 Yankees. Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, the whole crew there. Absolutely amazing. Murderer's Row ball. And, of course, while his stepdad, Scotty's stepdad, obviously is kind of pissed off that he took the Babe Ruth ball, he was obviously thrilled to get that 27 ball. And so just really awesome. And then they continue to play in the Sandlot. The dog kind of becomes their mascot, Hercules. And just a great movie. And then we flash forward to the scene at Dodger Stadium, where I'll talk about that because I have a few issues with that scene. But overall, just a great film. So many classic moments, so many classic lines. You're killing me, Smalls. I mean, just endless lines in this movie that we repeat and continue to hear repeated to this day. The Great Bambino. Anytime someone doesn't know who Babe Ruth is, we know how we're going to react to that. The Sultan of SWAT, man. The Colossus of Clout, the Titan of Terror, the King of Crash, man. There's just a few personal nitpicks as far as I like baseball realism is important to me, and for the most part it is in this movie. I mean, they're just kids, not expected to have major league swings. It's not a movie about a major league or professional baseball team, so that's fine. If they don't look like the best athletes at time to time, so what? In fact, they look pretty damn good to me. They look exactly how they should, but there are a few moments where a batter was swinging, hit a clear pop-up or a foul, and then the next shot you see it going fair over the fence. And I'm like, why? I've seen this in other movies too. It's like you have so many shots. You're out there. This is a high-budget movie. This isn't a little TV show where you're on a restricted budget and you're just hurrying up and trying to get the shots in. No. You got multiple shots. You've been out there, I'm sure, for hours shooting just the smallest of scenes, and you don't have the footage to be able to splice together a swing where he actually hits the ball out to left field and then show the ball going to left field. You think that we can't notice that the ball was popped up back into the left or to the right or whatever, or back behind sometimes, or on the ground sometimes, and then the next shot it's up in the air? Why do films do that? I don't know. I'm not saying this was the biggest offender, but I definitely saw a couple of those moments where a guy swings and the ball is not hit where it is shown in the next shot. The film does have sort of a mythical quality in certain scenes where things happen, like knocking the cover completely off the ball, which I don't even think is possible. You can definitely, I've hit a ball in a weird way where it rips the cover and the cover is kind of hanging there partially off. But as far as just hitting a ball so hard that it completely comes off of its cover, I mean, we see it in movies. Okay, The Natural, I'll definitely talk about it when I review The Natural. But it's not really something that's going to happen. No matter how hard you hit a ball, you can't just take the entire seam off. But then there's that other scene where Benny tells Scotty Smalls, and he's trying to, first he teaches him how to throw. Good advice. You ever have it on a newspaper route? Just get your hand here and just let go, okay? Then he says, how do I catch? Does he teach him how to catch? No, he says stand there and put your glove up in the air. And I mean, it's a well shot scene and it kind of works for the movie, but it's like, that's impossible. Like, nobody has that perfect of accuracy to throw a ball up from home plate and hit it to land it right in the glove in the outfield. Not only that, even if you do have that some kind of superior accuracy to hit a ball that perfectly to that exact spot, not a foot to the left, not a foot to the right, not 2 inches either way, right to that spot, the guy still has to catch it without trying, just with his eyes closed and his glove up like this. Typically, you're not going to catch the ball like that because you still got to know how to catch a ball. It's probably just going to plunk off the glove and fall to the ground or something, because you still got to know how to catch the ball. You can't just have the glove in the right spot at the right time. So anyway, that scene was just a little bit overly dramatic for me. I'm like, come on, stop it. It all kind of fits the tone of the movie. It's just a personal nitpick for me, things that happen. But then we jump forward to that last scene at Dodger Stadium. It's a cool moment, everything. Scotty Smalls is actually the announcer now for the Dodgers, and Benny the Jet Rodriguez plays for the Dodgers, which is awesome, right? Unlikely, but possible. So I thought that was a really cool touch, where you have Scotty Smalls up there calling the game. For some stupid reason, he still got the big dorky hat from the very beginning of the movie that he got rid of. Why would he be wearing that hat with a bill that goes out to here and it's like a fishing hat? I know it's like to say, hey, that's Scotty, there's his hat. But he wouldn't be wearing that hat. Anyway, Benny comes into pinch run at third base and he steals home, but it's the longest steal of home I've ever heard. This is Scotty Smalls on the call. Oh my goodness, he's stealing home. I can't, I see it. They don't see it. I don't believe it. He's stealing home. They see it. I don't believe it. Oh my goodness, he's stealing home. Here he goes. He's stealing home, ladies and gentlemen. The pitch. He's stealing home. He's stealing home. Here he goes, and he slides it on. He's safe. I was like, okay, it took you about 12 seconds to make that call. He has got to be the slowest runner in the history of the game. He would have been out by a mile. So, you know, the call wasn't realistic, but only a hardcore baseball fan, like diehard, who wants baseball realism would even notice that. But it took way too long to steal home. You should be there in less than 3 seconds. You just need to have a big lead, a running start, and it should be like, and oh my goodness, he's stealing home. Here's the pitch, and he's safe. That's how it would really go. But that's fine. Also, not to nitpick, but for some stupid reason, the baseball was sitting there because, okay, originally back when they got the Babe Ruth ball was lost, they had to get a replacement ball temporarily just to trick the mom to buy them time to try to get the Babe Ruth ball. So Benny the Jet Rodriguez signed the ball, Babe Ruth. It looked terrible. It was kind of funny because I was like, I don't know, Benny. I don't know if that's going to fly. It's kind of funny because obviously, right, if you're a kid or even if you're an adult and you haven't practiced, you're not going to be able to sign Babe Ruth's autograph and make it look good, even if you have practiced, because Babe Ruth has a beautiful autograph. For some reason, he put an E at the end. I don't know if that's because he doesn't know how to spell it, but why? Why would you make it so that Benny can't spell? He seems like a really smart kid. He's a diehard Babe Ruth fan. I think he would be able to spell it. So I didn't like that little touch right there. But anyway, he spells Babe Ruth wrong. But here's what I'm getting at. The ball from the original scene where he signed Babe Ruth and he took it back and they put it in to try to trick the mom. And then at the end of the movie, when Scotty's an announcer at Dodger Stadium and he has the ball there, clearly completely different, not even close. He has that old ball that was signed by Benny, which is awesome. I thought that he still had that there in his collection, but it wasn't the same ball. The fake autograph, there were two different balls. It was not even close to the other fake autograph. They were both horrible, obviously, but they were different, not even close. So it was like, well, you couldn't get the same ball. And if you couldn't get that same ball because you lost it or something during filming, you couldn't look at the shot of that ball and try to at least make it look the exact same. You thought we wouldn't notice that? You thought we wouldn't notice that? I noticed that the second time I saw the movie. I even think maybe the actual Babe Ruth ball autograph might have changed a little bit, but at least it looked legit for the most part. As the ball got jacked up, it's hard to tell. It got all jacked up with dog slobber all over it. It was, they keep on trying to get the ball. But look, overall, the film was great. I mean, little nitpicks are just like little things, and there's some plot holes in them. Like they didn't even, like all the things they tried to get the Babe Ruth ball back. A couple of them almost worked. They probably should have just tried that again. You know, a couple of the things they tried almost worked, didn't quite work. They could have easily just tried again, like normal people would do. Like, let's just try that again. But what fun is that, right? We wanted to see all the different things they tried, and that made the film that much more fun. So, look, this is a great movie. It's a classic. I'm just giving you little nitpicks, things that stand out to me, things that bother me a little bit about it. Is it a little bit overrated? Some may say so. I don't know. I would say no, because to me it's just so well acted, so well edited, so funny of a movie, and just these kids are just fantastic in the movie. They really are. The line delivery is so perfect. They casted perfectly. Either that or the director is just a genius with kids, because he made it work. He really made it work. And I think this movie is fantastic. Rating this movie for the comedy, I got to give this movie basically a 10 out of 10 for comedy. I think this movie is just hilarious. I think it's genuinely funny. I don't think they could make this movie today. They could not pull it off today. Hollywood, no chance. No chance could they make this movie today. As far as the baseball realism, for the most part, really good. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, even though, like I said, there are a few shots. That's why it's just an 8. There are a few shots where somebody hits a foul ball and the next shot is going over the fence. It's like, okay, that's not right. And that is fantastic, though. I really enjoyed the film. I think I have to say, acting in this movie, I want to give this one a score. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. I thought the kids were fantastic. I thought the acting was on point. Everyone's just so good in this movie, and it's just very well done. Editing as well, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. This movie is edited to perfection with the music, with the transitions. Everything is just done so well to make it what it is, make it the classic that it is. I think they did a fantastic job editing this movie. Highly recommend this movie. As an overall score, I'm going to give The Sandlot. I'm going to give The Sandlot a 9 out of 10. This is a fantastic movie, absolute classic. Let me know what you think in that comment section down below of The Sandlot. Again, a lot of us people say do 10 out of 10. What are you talking about? So maybe I'm in the minority by giving it a 9, but I'm telling you I love this movie. I'm just saying I gave you my little nitpicks. Well, why personally it's not one of my absolute favorite baseball movies of all time, but it's still definitely in the top, 10-20% of my baseball movies of all time, no doubt about that. The Sandlot. Let me know in that comment section what you think of it. So many great lines, so many classic moments. What a movie. Have a great day. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this segment for more Baseball Movie Mondays and more baseball talk in general. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.
Opening day.